All right, well, welcome to another Thursday webinar. As you can see behind me, this is not my house. I'm actually in the Fargo office visiting in Fargo for the week in the office a couple days, so we're going to switch it up a little bit. And I have brought, instead of the 70-degree weather back home, I've brought some snow with us, which is a little hard to tell, but 4 inches and counting, I believe. So that's always fun, but I came prepared, so that's good.
And
Won't be stuck
Trish,
in the
we love
snow.
having you visit the office. Absolutely love that, but it's questionable. If you're bringing snow with next time, we might just send you out really, really, really quick.
Or maybe Fargo's telling me to get out of Dodge here with the snow. But in any case, it is really good to be in the office and see folks. Got to see Dave a little bit ago, so it feels really good. And so here I am today and tomorrow. So you got us here for a bit. Let's see if I can get my mouse over to my other screen. Um, Real quick, in the control center of your website, above the help center, there's a view weekly website tutorials link. And if you click on that, you're taken to this page where you can sign up for future webinars. Also, scrolling down, there's previous episodes that we have recorded that are also posted on this page. What we're doing is going through every single tab of the control center and dialing deep into the individual tabs and the topics that are available so that you can get a deeper dive. Maybe you haven't been there ever, or maybe it's been a while. You could be a new subscriber. And even if you're not a subscriber yet, and you have a demo website, this is available to anybody that wants to get deeper into any particular topic. And then they're labeled so that you know what the YouTube or what the recording is about. So this page here again is found from your control center above the help center where it says view weekly website tutorials, and that will take you here. I want to get that out there. And then last Thursday, we left off under my website e-commerce settings, and we had left off at job status. So we're going to naturally drop into the next tab here, which is send a proof message. And we're just going to do a couple tabs today, keep it kind of short. Get through what we can here today, though, and then see what next week comes up. So send a proof message. So this message, whatever you put in here and save, will show up when you send a proof to your customers. However, this message can be modified prior to you sending the proof. And you might be asking, well, where is this found? Well, if we go to the workflow tab, and the workflow tab defaults to view workflow, you will see on the bottom there is a send a proof tab. And I'm going to go through and just, I don't even know what's on this laptop, so I'm going to pick a file and, okay, I went to Chicago last March, so we'll do a Willis Tower. And scrolling down here, there is that pre-canned proof message that I had set up back here under e-commerce settings, send a proof. Due to high volume, please ensure you get back to our print shop within 48 hours and so on. If I go back over here to this other tab, that same message is saved as a pre-canned message, but you can go in here and add more information as needed. So you can go ahead and switch that up as you would like before the proof is sent. So it's kind of nice that we give the ability to, let's say 98% of the time, you want that same message to go out to your customers, but you can edit this as needed before you send it out to anybody you're sending your proof out to.
Yeah, it's just a really super nice shortcut. And I don't know, maybe shortcut isn't the right word, but I guess it is, because just exactly like you said, if you're finding you're using that same language over and over again when you send a proof message, you don't have to retype it every time. You just add it in as that default message and it just shows up. But it does not take away the flexibility, just like Trish is showing you here. You still have all the flexibility to zap it and start over or add whatever you want on there. So I guess I'll go back to what I said earlier. It truly is a shortcut. It saves you from all that extra typing, unless you want to do that extra typing.
And maybe that's the theme for today, is we're showing you some shortcuts. This happens to be one of three. So that is send a proof message. Again, where is that located? Under your workflow tab, send a proof. When you get ready to send a proof, you can customize the message to your customer to your liking. Moving on under e-commerce settings, right underneath send a proof message, estimate comments. This is presented again as a pre-canned message or default estimate message to your print buyers. However, it can be modified as needed prior to presenting the estimate. So you're probably wondering, okay, where is that found? I have another tab called up. I have an estimate in which a customer was requesting And if prior to me sending back to them, a price, or maybe you want to give them more comments, here is that information that I was telling you about comments. Full details are available in the attached PDF link above, or blah, 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 blah. These are the comments that are ported over from this tab called Estimate Comments. So again, it's a pre-canned message that may fit the majority of your print buyers. It does show up when they request an estimate. These are the pre-canned message. But if you would like to edit this message before sending them back the estimate, again, whether you include a price or another file or what have you, you can zap this message. You can add more information to the pre-canned message. Very similar, acting as the proof comments. Feel free to add whatever might be needed, change what is needed before you send back the estimate to your print buyer. And then right back under e-commerce settings, we have estimate terms, and I simply have something called, or showing us this estimate is good for 30 days. So again, this can be pre-canned. This may or may not fit the majority of your print buyers, but if you do have a saved estimate terms, you can modify if you would like prior to presenting the estimate. Where is this found? If we go back to that same example estimate and scroll right down below the comments, there is an estimate terms box. There it is. This estimate is good for 30 days. You can zap that. You can add what you want. You can add to it. Good for 45 days, whatever you may want to put as your estimate terms. If anything, you may edit these to your liking or use as is before this estimate is sent back to your print buyers. So those are 3 things that can be edited by you. If you had it set up as a default or a pre-canned message, we still give you the flexibility to edit that when the time is appropriate.
So really what we're doing here is we're building email messages, and the system will automatically send those messages for you, or maybe semi-automatically might be a better way of saying it, because you still gets to determine when these go out. You're originating these messages, but we're building an email message here. And just to really go back to that shortcut theme that we mentioned, that's what this is about. We want to help you sell more printing. Well, one of the ways we do that is we take away some of the overhead and the time involved with making these things happen, so that you have more time to sell more printing instead of typing on a keyboard. And that's really it. So we're talking about editing these at 2 different levels. If we go on that time-saving mode, we go back to where we started under that e-commerce tab and say that this is the message that's going to fit 90% of the 90% of the times I'd send those messages out. And so that's your first level of editing. And then you still have that opportunity, just to hit the nail over the head even once more, you still have that opportunity when you send these messages out. You can still override it. So if you're in that 10% of the time where you just need to say it a little bit differently or personalize it a little bit more for that particular customer, you can absolutely do that. So if you go back to that first area under the e-commerce tabs, that's the set it and forget it area. Well, maybe not forget it. Maybe you want to look at it every year or two just to freshen up the message if it needs to be. Certainly, if you get a worldwide pandemic tossing you around, you might want to change the language there. But it's basically a set it and forget it area. Nice shortcuts in the website there for you.
Yep, thank you, Dave. I'm glad you kind of mentioned that. It is set and forget it, but again, it will remind you that it's there prior to you sending the proof or sending the estimate to allow you to change it up. So set it and forget it, but the system will remind you it's there and give you the chance to make those edits as needed. What we had talked about, I think we're gonna cut it short for today. Just, don't need to make these 15, 20 minutes every time. You need to respect your time as well with busy printers, busy customers. So we're going to save next week and see how far we can get and keep on going every Thursday. So I think with that, we're going to sign off. And again, continue to feel free to look back at the previous webinars we have recorded and look over or do a recap there to see if there's something you missed that maybe caught your attention. So with that, we are going to sign off and we'll see you next Thursday. Take care.